for, documentary Oscar talk. But it's another true crime movie. This has been the year of true crime. And it's called Amanda Knox. It's
Yeah. Okay. How was it? I mean,
it was very good. I really, first of all, let me just say that I thought it was one of the most beautifully shot documentaries I've ever seen. I mean, like just the cinematography on it, like right down to just the way the interviews are shot and everything. It was just beautiful widescreen frames. Lots of care went into the lensing of the movie. But as someone who's never, I wasn't paying attention to that. I know it was a huge story, the Amanda Knox thing, and I understood that there was a girl who was being held for murder in Italy, but I heard terrible things about her personally, but I didn't really follow the story.
Mm-hmm.
And so for me, this was definitely a kind of a revelation. I mean, in a way, it's kind of the same old story. There's a murder someplace. There's a dynamic, charismatic person involved in the middle of it, and the media just runs with it and creates a narrative that might not be the truth, and makes things worse for the person in the middle of. I mean, that's basically this story, and it does not make the one representative of the media that we do see is the guy who really scooped all the rest of the outlets on the story, and found his name on the front pages of many newspapers picking up his story. Right. And so it definitely does not make this journalist look very good at all. But he's all fine with it because he got his cash, so he's totally fine by the end of it. He's like, oh, well, what am I going to do? Not be a journalist, right. So, But also, it's another movie that just makes you totally angry at these lawmen who are, I guess they're under pressure from the public and the media, but I'm trying to understand that. But at the same time, why can't you get it right? I mean, why do you have to do it tomorrow? Like, can't you just get this right? Because the Italian authorities were just complete bunglers. I mean, I thought. I just thought that they were, and their idea of how this crime happened. Because I mean, if you don't know the story, Amanda Knox was. She was in love. She was in love with visiting Italy for the first time. She's like 21. She's in love with this guy that she met like a week ago, and she's rooming with a British girl her age, maybe a little bit older, who one night turns up dead. And
that's right, yeah.
And there's there's very little trace of DNA from either one of those people, the girl or Amanda Knox or her boyfriend, who was also put in jail for the crime for 4 or 5 years. And but yet they still went with it. Like, why would you do that? There's the DNA of another guy in here. Can't you just go? Why not accept? By the time they have her in jail, then they've found the DNA of another guy who was kind of a sketchy character that was known for robberies and breaking into places and stuff. And then after she's in jail, then they start investigating this guy. And they just kind of go, we've got our person. It's fine. Go ahead. When it's so much more that their story. I just have to say, their story that they come up with for her how this murder happened in their eyes is the silliest thing ever. And it's
right.
And that silliness is cleverly underlined by the filmmakers by showing like some sort of cheeseball computer recreation of it that was done by the Italian authorities. It's just so silly. It just makes you think, why would they think this? But anyway, if you've liked these true crime movies like Making a Murderer and OJ, and you'll like this. It's quite well done, and I
really
appreciate it too.
Yeah, so do I. I just put it on my list on Netflix, and I forgot all about it. So thank you, Dean.
I appreciated the economy of it too. It's not 3 hours long. It's less than 2 hours long, and they really get all the information in, and they get the story in that time period. So, I mean, they could have made it a 4 hour thing.
Netflix is really determined to be a player in, especially the documentary realm. I mean, because the other big documentary that more than likely will be Oscar bait is the 13th, the MMA doc. That just came available on Netflix. So